I have a new niece. She is so adorable. Wait until you get to see the pictures of her. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. So, work. Have you ever said something super positive and everything was all happy-go-lucky, and then something big happened to ruin it all? Well, okay. So in this project, I have about 1 million rows of data that I need to parse through and validate the mappings to the new system were done correctly. They're not simple mappings. There's 8 different target fields that I have to validate for these 1 million rows of mappings. And each field can take anywhere from 1 to 5 different source fields in order to determine how it gets mapped. And the best part about it is it's not consistent. Each different, I'm going to say, grouping of business units that we have has a different way that they want to have everything mapped. Some of them are shared, so that makes it a little bit easier, but it's not always consistent that this group is the same all the way as this group somewhere else. So it's a nightmare. So with this new system that we're trying to put in place, started focusing on July data because that was the first month of data we had. The first challenge I had was July data is about 160,000 rows in the mapping system that I can query. And there is a limitation in the system to 150,000 rows of data to download. So I had to come up with some creative ways to limit the number of records that I'm pulling out to enough in there. I managed to get the data out. I started doing the lineups between the two systems, comparing, and had a few variances, but they weren't many. Well, actually, no. The first time I had a bunch of variances, and it was ridiculous because I'm like, what are these? And we determined it's because the mappings that they had are a month older than the mappings that we have currently in production. It's pointless to change the mappings that I'm using to do the validations to stuff from a month ago because we still need to get these mapping variances resolved, and then we will be sitting here chasing our tails saying, did we get this resolved, or is this still something that's outstanding? So hunting through and everything finally convinced them that they needed to update the mappings on their side. Take 2 with the stuff, and I start lining everything up, and there's a couple wonky things. And as I'm digging through each of them, they are edge case scenarios that weren't in the actual data. So the system or the mapping methodology that I'm putting it through is exactly the same as the actual stuff. So I was going through, I got it all lined up. I fixed a couple of the edge cases, and it took a bit of time, but by the end of Thursday, and I'm talking like 9 p.m., I was basically happy that July data looked good. Got through everything, and Friday morning, I said, hey, I'm pretty happy. Excuse me. In fact, I even praised the consulting team because it took several cycles to get to the point where we were happy with the mapping results. And like I was just, in shock. They were shocked that I even gave this level of praise because I don't give praise easily at work, especially when it's things that I call fairly simple. But I understand that. Excuse me. That the code was a little wonky with this, so I understand how things like that can happen. Friday after all of this, I started looking at August and September data, because if August looked good, if July looked good, then August and September should look good as well, because it's the same mapping logic and it should be very similar data. Or so I thought. I had variances all over the place. As I was looking through, most of the stuff was associated with our international divisions, where we have currency in place because we do currency translations. It's a nightmare. I still don't understand half of it half the time. But I dug through, and everything that I saw pointed to, it looked like the US dollar equivalent had been retranslated, like currencies have been updated or something. And I was upset because, it takes a full day for me to re-extract all this data fresh from our source systems, because again, we haven't gotten to the point where we trust the extract yet. I think we're close with that, but I have a method to shift the source system data into the format required for my mapping file. I don't have anything to reformat the their extract file into my stuff. So it's either spend a day or two converting their stuff into my stuff or re-extracting my stuff. Either way, it was just, I was upset. As I finally got answers from our IT group, I was told that they had updated the currency rates due to another project that something else was happening on. And they didn't think that it would impact us. And I was like, well, obviously it did, because they recalculated it. I told you when I pulled up my data. So she goes, well, these things do happen. I'm sorry, da, da, da. And I responded almost immediately with a clip from Phantom of the Opera where Carlotta exclaims, "These things do happen. Until these things stop happening, this thing does not happen." I kind of enjoyed the little bit of a diva thing with that. All that said, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, I ended up working till like 9 p.m. just a combination of getting the data out, repulling the data with some of the other stuff, with issues that I had found because they had recalculated stuff again early in the stuff. So there was 2 different recalculations that they did with currency. Trying to figure out what we're going to do. Because, I got to repull it again at some point because the data is still wrong. But at the same time, I'm trying to delay it because I did manage to find 3 fairly serious bugs. One of them I think has been fixed, but the other 2 I logged Friday night after hours, so I don't think that they know that either of those 2 exist yet. This is all amusing because Friday is supposed to be a decision of go, no go. I think that's scheduled for Friday. And the users haven't even had a chance to get into the system and start testing. So I have no idea what's going to happen. They wanted to go live with this in a week. I don't see that happening. So this is going to be kind of fun. But in the exciting news, I have a new niece. I'm just, excited about all this. Last month, my sister lost her 15-year-old puggle named Max. He was a total sweetie, a little crazy at times, but just a total sweetheart. She lost him the day before I lost Jesse. And so we both had loss at the same time. Last week, though, her sister-in-law, I think that's who it is, texted her saying if she could stop by with the pup that she is fostering. I don't know why she was going through, but she needed to stop by. And when they came, my sister and this pup instantly bonded. She put in an application with the adoption agency. And I'm sure it didn't hurt that, it was her sister-in-law who was fostering, but she got approved. So I am very excited to introduce to you Stella Mae Murphy. My sister has swabbed her yesterday to find out exactly what her breed background is. She is an adorable mutt, but all mutts are adorable. Everyone in the house is loving this new addition, and I will have a few more pictures in the scenes from the week a little bit later in this episode. In the sewing room, though, it's been a little rough in here with all those extra hours that I put in this week with work. I really wanted to take a nap yesterday, but I couldn't fall asleep. But I also couldn't really keep my eyes open due to tired. I ended up going out and running a few errands. I needed to specifically go out and buy some fabric because I have a little bit of an event happening next week. So I went up to the quilt shop and I picked out these gorgeous fabrics. So we'll talk about this a little bit later going on. While I was at the quilt shop, though, the owner's daughter, she goes, "Hey, Russ, look at what I have." And she holds up a fat quarter. And I was like, "Is that what I think it is?" And I get closer and it was. I got a preview of Tula Pink's Besties. They got a fat quarter bundle sent to them in advance so that they can get a shop sample built for the project or for the quilt fabric. And they were trying to figure out which pattern they wanted to build out in the fabric. And as they build it out, obviously, they will figure out how to get the fabric requirements in order to, sell more stuff. I will tell you the fabric is gorgeous. I kind of joked that if it vanished, it wasn't me. I promise it wasn't me. I ended up spending more time in the shop to get these fabrics and stuff. I kept staring over saying, "I really want those fabrics," but I know that it'll be available in about 2 weeks. That's what I was told. So I'm happy. I bought a couple other things there, and yeah, quilt shop shopping was a success. I did put myself in the wish list for a fat quarter bundle of Besties, just because everything just looks so gorgeous. I'll figure out something to do with it. I ended up coming home, tried to take a nap again, didn't work, and I finally got up and Adam and came in here and turned on Stephanie Stitches live at 5. She had Shannon of Slay Arts on there. I finally got a few ounces of energy after a bit, and I started working on the quarter square triangles for my socialites in order to get that finishing going. Last week I had showed you that I had the half square triangle or quarter square triangles half sewn. And right now I can say that I have all the quarter square triangles fully sewn. Would it go like this? Would it go like this? We'll figure it out. This is one of the colors of the quarter square triangles. They still need to be trimmed down to proper size. And this is the other. So I am very excited that I am able to get these worked on. After I get these trimmed down to size, that will leave the only thing left for socialites is the half square triangles. I have like 4 larger pieces that need to be cut that are larger than, the 9.5-inch squares, and then getting them all pieced together. So that's going to be a lot of fun once I get a chance to work on that. So that is all I did. It wasn't a lot, but with the amount of energy that I had, it was a lot. I said it last week, and I need to say it again. My boss needs to come back so I can start relaxing again. This coming week is the last full week that she is out. She returns next Tuesday. So maybe after that, I will be able to get a nap. there's no goals this week. I'm not even going to pretend there are. I know this week is going to be crazy with testing at work. Who knows how many of those are going to be days until like 9 p.m. again? My hope is it's none of them because I don't want to turn on my computer if I'm in the office. And the plan is to be in the office to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday this week, which is my normal in office days. So hopefully I'm able to get enough done in the office that I don't need to log in when I get home. And hopefully Wednesday we are in a good enough position that I don't need to work late. But either way, don't know what's going to happen. I will say that, I will have to work this evening, which is a Sunday, which is not a day that I approve of working because I have to go process some tickets that have been waiting on me all week to process through. They're security tickets, so they're not high profile stuff, but people do want to get access to the system. So it would be nice if I had a chance to get those processed. Thursday, though, a friend of mine is coming into town. I haven't seen him in several months. He's coming to pick up an embroidery machine, and he's going to make a big weekend plan of it. He's planning on getting in late Thursday night, so won't be seeing him Thursday. But Friday evening after work, we're planning on grabbing dinner. Haven't quite settled down on the dinner plans yet. Part of our plans is not going to be open this week, so we're trying to figure out what's going to go on. Saturday, we will be heading up to pick up the machine and visit the quilt shop up there in Cumming. He's leaving town early on Sunday, so it's a really short trip for him. And that'll be, just a good, hey, haven't seen you in a couple months. Hi. But that also means the amount of time that I will have in here will be minimal. But I do have plans to be in here at some point for it. And you'll find out that in a second. I know last week I said I had more, but they haven't quite been gifted yet. Trying to get on people's schedules is a little difficult right now for the fact that my schedule is insane. So I'm trying to get on schedules and stuff, but until then, I can show this one awesome completed quilt top. The pattern was Stephanie Stitch's Autumn Project. It was a joy to put together. I love how it came out. It was my very first autumn quilt that I have probably even started, but definitely completed. Most of the time when I see autumn fabric, it just feels like it's browns and browns. It doesn't have a happy feel to it, which technically autumn is the seasons just going. But also most of the autumn patterns feel very cliche with just leaves and stuff like that. This pattern though, I love it. The pumpkins in it, the stars, it screams autumn without being fall. I think that's probably an easy way to say that. So next Saturday, even though I have a busy weekend with my friend coming into town, I will be joining my friend Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches on her channel at 5 p.m. with her live at 5. We'll be making pumpkins. It will be definitely a fun project. I don't think I have made a pumpkin block yet with all of the custom blocks that I have done. But I do know that I have the Fat Quarter Shop spooky box from a couple years ago, and it has a cat with a jack-o'-lantern, but I haven't started that one yet, so it definitely is going to be my first pumpkin. Stephanie is going to have the fabric requirements on her blog this coming Friday, and I hope that everyone joins us Saturday for an awesome sew along to do pumpkins. It looks like it's going to be a fun project. Anyway, that is about all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you want, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps the channel to grow. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.